And welcome back. Nick Reynolds is looking after lunch today, and he's got a great lunch option if you're sitting outside in the sun with a glass of wine this summer. We'll just say this summer because it hasn't happened yet.
I like the way you said that, because these spices are so versatile. They can be used for barbecue, rubs, spices, anything you want. We're doing it today, obviously, because we've got a roof over our heads. We're doing it inside in the oven. You've done a bit of study on what the...
I said earlier, I Googled one thing because you're introducing us to some new spices
I'm
today.
introducing to it. Today we're going to be doing a sumac butter chicken with a zaatar.
Okay, so there's two things there I've never heard of.
Okay.
One being the sumac, the other being the zaatar.
Okay. So what do you know so far?
I have learned that the sumac is a spice.
It is a spice.
Made from dried berries.
From dried berries.
And is used as a condiment in Iran.
Very
So it'll be
good.
put on the table with the salt and the pepper.
Very
Other
good.
than that, my knowledge ends.
It's a dried spice, and it's got this incredibly... It's almost like an actor playing a lemon part. It's got this, you know what I mean? It's got this incredibly lemony texture to it, and it's got this kind of tang. Like other, I'm using Swartz because other, like lesser quality ones, they kind of mix with citric acid, and they give you that pucker. You know, that kind of taste? Because it is that kind of flavour.
Okay, so is there a tartness to it?
There's a tartness to it, exactly. Which is going to be a bit mixed with sweetness. So what we're going to do is just get your sumac here. I've got about a tablespoon there. And we're going to mix it with some nice butter and thyme and some garlic powder. You familiar with garlic powder?
Indeed.
Yes? Because I always say, if you're using garlic powder, it's probably about a quarter of the amount of garlic you'd normally use in a recipe, because it's dehydrated and it's kind of got that more intensity. But what I like about it is it can stand up to the heat a lot better.
Okay.
So you know, garlic can be quite delicate when you throw it into the pan, you know?
Okay.
So the garlic powder is just...
It's a little bit more potent.
Yeah.
Okay, now you've got chicken thighs. Are your...
Look how easy this is. Got our chicken thighs. All we're going to do is put our butter all over it. Make sure it just gets on top.
So you scored the chicken. How much butter did you use, Nick?
So that is probably about... I mean, butter's subjective, isn't it?
Okay.
It's a knob of butter. Like how long is a piece of string?
A few tablespoons.
Yeah, so about a tablespoon per breast or thigh or whatever you're using. And then this is just a matter of throwing whatever you've got in here. I've got some leftover fennel that was in my fridge last night. You know, maybe a couple of tomatoes, whatever you want. Maybe a couple of potatoes to bulk it up. You know, it's easy enough. And then we're just going to put a bit of parsley on it. But now that we've got those flavours that are all doing their work, throw that in the oven, 35, 40 minutes, golden.
Okay, what temp?
So what I like to do is I start low. So get everything starts to get to... I'm going to get you zesting some limes here. We're going to start building our salad.
Okay, so you start the chicken off low in the oven.
Start the chicken off low in the oven. I started about 150, and then for the last 10 minutes I bring it up to 220 to bring up the temp, you know?
Okay. So now we are on to making
our zaatar salad.
Okay.
So all I'm going to do here is I've got some red onion, and this is about a tablespoon of our zaatar. Such a beautiful smell, because it's a little bit of the mix of the sumac, and it's got these incredible robust elements to it, like oregano and dried thyme, and then it's got these nutty elements like the sesame seeds, and it all just comes together when you mix with a bit of acid like the lime juice, or maybe even a bit of vinegar. You know what, I've got some vinegar here, I'll throw some in. See, this doesn't have to be in any way exact.
Yeah, so a bit of experimentation.
Find out your flavour, what you like. That's just red onion, the zaatar, and some parsley. 2 tomatoes in there.
Okay, now what kind of flavour is zaatar bringing to the party?
So zaatar, it's got the sesame seeds, so it's going to have that like kind of nutty element to it. It's going to have that toasted element to it, and then it's going to bring some sweetness and the tang that the sumac has, and then it's got the robust elements, so that the perfume comes out of your mouth after, you know. So what you're going to do is put in the zest and maybe a bit of the lime juice in there.
Okay, I'll give you a little bit of this first.
Yeah.
I don't know if I did enough for you, but
no, that's perfect. And we're just going to go a bit more oil, and then you can mix the two of them together, the beans and that in the bowl.
Okay.
And just...
Okay, so now these are they butter beans?
They're cannellini beans.
Cannellini beans, which are white kidney beans, aren't they?
You could use the white beans, you could use the kidney beans, you could use whatever you want here.
Okay, so you want me to add this in?
Give you
now, this is really going to fill it up, isn't it, those beans?
So, yeah, so it's going to complement the whole dish, because, you know, you've got the warmth of your chicken, you've got the warmth of the dish, and all the buttery goodness from the sumac. And what I did here was I just have the chicken in, and I just shaved some courgette and some onion to go on top.
Okay, so you added a few extra bits to that one.
Yeah, like I
but
said,
again,
like,
it's
I've got
whatever
a
you
few
have.
things lying around in the fridge. I just throw them in top because the spices are all going to be in there. Look, a few little cherry tomatoes.
Okay.
Ooh, God. Almost lost this one here. And then our sumac, Schwartz sumac on top again.
Okay, a little bit more of that.
I mean, what did you say? Like a little salt and pepper, right?
Yeah.
Did you try a little bit of it on its own?
It's an interesting smell, isn't it?
It's
so
great.
it is zesty, isn't it?
Tangy, zesty.
Tangy. That's the word. Tangy.
Because I tell you, you might see it a lot is in potpourri. They use it a lot in potpourri.
Really?
Yeah, they use the leaves in potpourri, not the.
Okay, so now we have the salad mix. Now, so you've gone for the chicken thighs. What else could you do this with?
So sumac, incredibly versatile. You're talking aubergine, you're talking lamb, you're talking grilled fish, you are talking grilled vegetables, everything else. And the same with the zaatar as well. Look at that. This is just a nice, and don't exclude this just to your just to the oven. Please introduce this into your life for your barbecue.
You mentioned the barbecue, yeah.
Please. Please.
That's a kind request.
No, it's just there was no regret you're going to have. No regret you're going to have.
Okay, a little bit of what, parsley on top?
Little bit of parsley on top.
I mean, look at all the colours in that.
Isn't it gorgeous?
And is that your preference of how you serve it with the side salad, with the beans?
I just like something a little bit cool and then some hot on the side, so your mouth can just kind of go through a bit of an emotion, you know, the kind of way. It's all about that little dance, you know.
Yeah, a little flavour roller coaster.
So, you want to try this up now?
Okay, thank you. Well, I will taste as I tell you now that the full recipe details are up on our website. Now, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
I'm tucking into this right as we get into this break. That is a beautiful lunch to make on the summer, during the summer, and definitely on the barbecue.
Please, on the barbecue.
Good to see you, Nick.